Welcome to Chapter 11 of Web of Cruelty. Morgan sits down to think. She hopes that Nerevar, Azora, and Ardeen think of her as a family member, or they will soon at least. She decides that she will change her cleric domain to nature to honor both Eilistree and Ardeen. She wonders if her biological family misses her, but she doubts that they feel guilt for the way she was treated. That isn't in their nature. Then she starts to wonder where she'll sleep tonight. She goes back to Ardeen and asks, "Hey, do you know where I'll sleep tonight?" He says, "Probably in Zora's house." "Where's that?" she says. "I can show you," he says. She follows him to a nearby building and says, "Thank you." He silently walks back where she originally found him. She sees multiple beds, and she doesn't know which one isn't taken, so she chooses a twin-sized bed. She lies down, but it's hard to sleep with her empty stomach. Eventually, her eyes close, and she loses consciousness. She wakes up with wide eyes to Azora shaking her. Azora mutters, "Wake up, Morgan." Morgan sleepily says, "Why? What's happening?" "Oh, is this your bed?" Then she realizes that Azora probably doesn't use such a small bed. Azora says, "No, I just need to bring you somewhere. This is important." Morgan slowly gets out of bed and follows Azora into Waterdeep and then into the Dancing Haven. Morgan says, "What's happening?" Azora says, "You need to start learning to dance and play music here tonight." Morgan says, "Why?" Azora says, "Eilistree's clerics have to learn. Better sooner than later. And Eilistree likes for our music and dance to take place in the moonlight." Azora gives Morgan a silver flute. She tries her best to play, which isn't very well. Azora gets her own flute and teaches Morgan how to do it properly by example. Morgan can tell that she is a flute expert. She makes sure that Morgan can see where her fingers are as she plays. She says, "Soon I will teach you to read notes, but not yet." Morgan gets a little better at playing, but Azora says, "Very good, let me have that, and I'll teach you to dance." Morgan gives her the flute, and she puts both flutes in a pouch. Azora says, "Okay, I will teach you ballet. First, I'll show you, then I'll help you do it yourself." Azora shows a beautiful display of her ballet skills. After she finishes, Azora says, "Okay, stand on the tips of your toes, and here's where your arms go." She moves Morgan's arms up with the tips of her hands, touching. Then she says, "Now spin." Morgan spins and she feels great, although she knows she isn't as good of a dancer as Azora. "That's good. You can stop now," says Azora, while smiling. "Well, I don't think it'll be too hard to train you, since you're a natural." That made Morgan feel warm inside. She smiles and says, "Thanks, Mother. I mean, Azora." Her eyes widen and her face reddens. Azora asks, "Do you see me as your new mother?" Morgan says, "No. I mean, yeah." "Do you think of me as a daughter?" Azora says. "Sometimes. I wish you were my daughter. Nerevar and I could raise you." Morgan says, "I would love that." They hug tightly, and Azora asks, "Would you like to dance?" Morgan says, "Yes, Mother," and they both laugh. They perform a ballet dance in the moonlight. Morgan thinks about her feelings while dancing. This moment is warming her heart. Sometimes she may feel regret for leaving Menzo Branson, but she knows that was the best choice she ever made. She has never been happier. This is a better home. That is the end of Chapter 11. Goodbye.